Hello, friends. It is very late on a Wednesday night, and just wanted to pop on because I missed posting last night at all, and it has been such a busy week, and so I just thought I would come on and share a couple of things that I was thinking about. So, project updates. So, I'm clearly in bed, no makeup, with my internet friends. But here's my progress on my needlepoint. So I am working on it slowly but surely and loving it. I just love me a 13 mesh canvas. 18 mesh are beautiful, but with my old eyes, they are too, it's work to work on those. So I love basket weave. I love just rhythmic, letting my brain zone out, zen out, whatever you want to say, and just doing some basket weave with some occasional color work to break up the monotony. After years and years of being a knitter, like an avid, I often joke, a rabid knitter, so I really started picking up knitting in full force in 2005. So I've been knitting for 20 years, and knitting takes so long. And so needlepoint is not fast for sure, but I think because knitting takes so long, it's conditioned me to be content with the process instead of pushing through for the product. And in the knitting world, there's often discussion, are you a product knitter or are you a process knitter? And at first when I was knitting, I was definitely a product knitter. I wanted the sweater, I wanted the shawl, I wanted a pair of socks. And so I would push myself and not necessarily enjoy the process. And over time, I began to just embrace that the process is enjoyable in and of itself. And when it's done, it's done. And because I think I leaned in on enjoying the process, A, it was more enjoyable. But B, I think I got things finished faster, somewhat, because I was more enthusiastic about it. So all of that to say, those learnings definitely apply to needlepoint because I think a lot of handwork is very time intensive. And you do have to lean in on enjoying the process. So all of that to say, I am loving this Violet's needlepoint, and so I am more inclined to pick it up when I can. That being said, I have not had much time for stitching. It has been a very busy week. Okay, so that's not even why I wanted to get on here. I just went off on a diatribe. So I did want to share, so the other day, I don't remember, some time ago, I shared my junk journal. And hopefully that got you inspired enough to go look at, more ideas and inspiration. But I have been doing, so I wanted to share my writing box. It is not completely outfitted. I haven't been using it, but because I remembered it and I will get it re-outfitted. So I'm going to share my writing box. And then secondly, a journal, I call it my pretty book, that I have been using off and on. I clearly don't use it very often for probably 10 years, close to 10 years. So I'm just going to leaf through it real quick because it is my journal. And so I don't want to spend a lot of time on showing what I've written in there. And there are seasons of my life where I find that I need that. I need it all the time, but I am more committed to doing that in different seasons. I think I'm needing it. And so it was a reminder to me that I need to get my setup going so that I can start leaning in on that. So bear with me while I turn you around. Hold on. Okay, as I've explained before, I do not have a good setup for over the head. And so and I'm in bed. And so this is on my lap. So it's not going to be ideal, but I bought this a couple of years ago, probably 2 years ago from, got that turned around. It is from Galen Leatherworks. And it is called, so this is their writer's box. They have a couple of different wooden, I don't know, notebook type things, accessories. So this is a little writer's box, and it does have a little leather handle so that you can carry it around, but this is all that I have inside of it right now. So it's just a place for you to hold your supplies, your stationery supplies. So right now I just have some vintage, of course, notebook paper, or, you know, like little note paper, and some envelopes. I have this brass ruler from Galen Leatherworks, as well as this binder clip. And this is really useful when you have a traveler's notebook, because you can clip it on the notebook to hold it open. And so I keep that in here, and then I just have some scissors and, you know, like little things. But I do need to get this outfitted. And then I have, again, some notebook paper from when we were in Italy, so just notes. But what's nice about it is it has these little wooden, I don't know, wooden pieces, so that when you close it on those wooden pieces, it makes a slanted writing desk. And so I use this when I'm journaling. I tend to use this in bed. And so it's just I've really loved it. I think it's beautiful. It's so well made. I did get this as a seconds on their website, so it was a little less expensive. It is an investment, but I do think it's so beautiful. And because of this little brass, it almost like stops your notebook. So it's got a little place to lean here and write. So I've thoroughly enjoyed this. All right, let me get out my pretty book and I'll show it to you. Okay, so ironically, my pretty book is not very pretty on the outside. It is a black bound sketchbook. And I saw this idea. I don't have an original idea in my head, y'all. So I basically copy everything that I do. I saw this years and years ago on a blog. Do you remember when blogs were a thing? And this lady shared that this is how she journaled. And so, excuse all of this, but you'll see why this is here. So I am not artistic. I cannot paint. I cannot draw. So what she did, and I copied it, is she cut pretty pictures out of magazines and then used that as the artistic part of her scripture journal, her prayer journal, gratitude journal, whatever you want to call it. And so I adopted the same idea. And so I've got pictures, just, pictures from magazines. And then I write the things that I want to write. And so to the point, I started this. And I'm a fan of quotes. And so there's a couple of different quotes that I wrote at the front of this. One is from, this is terrible, but from Martha Washington. I'm still determined to be cheerful and happy in whatever situation I may be. For I've also learned from experience that the greater part of our happiness or misery depends on our disposition and not on our circumstances. We carry the seeds of one or the other about with us in our minds wherever we go. Isn't that inspiring? So all of that to say, I put magazine pictures in this. I write, prayers. I write scripture. I write poems a lot. I copy poems. I don't write poems. I copy poems. I have prayer lists. And so this is my pretty book, and I started it in 2007. So, like I said, there are seasons. So this was a period of time when I was really focused on being grateful and writing out all of the things that I was grateful for and for thankfulness. And so I think that's where I'm at. I need a season of gratitude and thankfulness and reflection. So I'm digging out my pretty book, and that's my goal. So that's what I had to share tonight. I appreciate you coming along, and I hope you have a great night. Thanks.